And they're off. And what do you know? Once again, they are not getting the sword. So yes, it is still an 90% race. So they will have to get a sword at some point and defeat Ganon. Because it's 90%, they will be allowed to up an A. So you won't have that routing restriction for this race. So let's see how they play it. Interestingly, jkoper did not get the 30 Armos. He just he's just going straight to the Northeast 100. Kingdahl getting both of those open money secrets, which is the way his swordless route starts. Not the way some jkoper swordless runs I've seen start, but it's a 90% run. So at some point he's going to get a sword, I'm guessing. So we'll see what he does from here. So that continue, save, retry that you saw them do at the Northeast, that is what up and A is. You go to the menu, you push up and A on the second controller, and that's what happens. And it is allowed in this category. The most popular speedrun category is any percent no up and A, not any percent. For some reason, the layout's changed, but this is an any percent, not any percent no up and A. But for this tournament, we wanted to highlight some of the lesser run categories. So any percent was one of them. But this is starting out like a swordless run. jkoper trying to get a bomb drop and not, which is often how a swordless run starts out. Since jkoper got less money than Kingdahl, I don't know exactly what he has in mind routing-wise, but he may be thinking that a lucky bomb here is required to continue, which may be why he's not just going to the bomb shop the way Kingdahl is. I haven't been counting, but the first, 6th, and 8th enemy in the bomb dropping group, which are the blue enemies on these two screens, can drop bombs, and he has not gotten the drops he wanted on those counts, it doesn't look like, so. Kingdahl, meanwhile, off, pretty much done with the shopping that usually starts off a swordless run. Will presumably be going into level 1. Although, interestingly, he's stopping. He's getting the heart container. That's interesting. Maybe because he's getting a sword at some point. He's routing for the sword upgrade. jkoper giving up on that farm and going ahead and buying those bombs. I think what he was thinking was that if he could get a lucky drop, he could get all his shopping done right now and not have to come back to buy the meat, but not in the cards. So this time Kingdahl will be able to up an A as he grabs it, though. Hit continue. Interesting that he, well, I guess he has bombs to spare, so he stayed on bombs and bombed those Stalfos instead of switching to the bow. I guess it's faster, but I don't know if he has a force coming up or what. Now, one thing you'll notice, Kingdahl did not stop to get the boomerang. Of the top swordless runners, he is the only one who does that, and the reason is that the boomerang is an item in menuing, and there are certain places where where it speeds up menuing and running out of items and switching to other items automatically and so forth. To not have it in inventory, I think jkoper usually does get the boomerang and does some strats with it, so you will see a difference with that, at least for the swordless portion of this any percent race. Yeah, jkoper getting that boomerang. Looks like jkoper grabbing either the heart or the potion here. Probably the heart. So whenever when it's time to get the sword in this run, he'll have the requisite heart containers for it. Kingdahl, meanwhile, making his way through level 3. This strat you've seen them doing of going to level 1 and then to level 3, that's actually relatively new for top swordless runs. It's been a common strat for some of the easier swordless routes, but it's now the world record route. I think Kingdahl was the first to do that at a very high level. It's in his PB, and the old world record route, which was jkoper's old PB and Lack Attack's old PB and Captain Green's old PB, they have all beaten their PBs on a new route that the current world record holder, Rooslugs, came up with within the last few months. So, and jkoper was pointing out that the big advantage to having the bow in level 3 is you end up with more keys. So it speeds things up elsewhere. Nice manhandle kill for Kingdahl as he makes his way out of level 3. And see jkoper looping around to get that meat now. jkoper into level 3, and as Kingdahl heads to level 4. Now, once again, since they've chosen not to get the sword, they cannot complete level 4 in one shot. If you are running the game swordless, you basically have two choices. You can either double dip level 6, which you can't beat level 6 without the ladder, and you can't beat level 4 without the wand. So you can either double dip level 4 and get the ladder, or you can double dip level 6 and get the wand, and level 6 is bigger and more difficult, so it's faster to double dip level 4. So Kingdahl heading towards that ladder now. As jkoper clears out this key chute, it might have been hard to see, but he got a bomb out of that chute room. So Kingdahl leaving and re-entering. This makes this breakfast room, as we call it, quite a bit safer because the legs, or the pancakes, which give the room its name, turn into Zols because of the spawn order priority in the room. And the Zols you can shoot down with one arrow. Whereas if you get caught in a leg, you have to spend 3 bombs to get out of it, or up an A out of it. So, and then after he got the ladder, he actually saved. So he up and A to save instead of up and A and continue. If you up and A and continue, you go to the beginning of the dungeon, but up and A save, you go back to the beginning of the overworld, which is where he's going next. He's going to collect some stuff off the coast before going to level 5, presumably. Kingdahl getting the heart off the southern coast. That's often a place where you get a potion in Swordless. Sometimes Kingdahl gets the heart there and a potion up at a few screens later in races, but because this is actually any percent and not Swordless, they will need a sword at some point, so he may be also collecting heart containers just for the sword upgrade. Oh, interesting. Kingdahl going into level 2. Now that blue candle pretty efficiently burns those ropes, which is what the snakes are called, but you can only fire the blue candle once per screen, as opposed to the red candle, which you can fire more than once. So burning those first few ropes and then switching to the arrows. Every time you fire an arrow, it costs a rupee. So so luckily these ropes are in the money dropping group, and we'll give some of those rupees back. He skipped that Muldorms. The Muldorms is one of the slower keys you can get, and with up and A you can save keys compared to no up and A routes, so that's often a key that's routed out. And this time no sword, so he will have to do what... Well, he's not backtracking to get the bomb, I guess. I guess he doesn't need it, but he did have to feed Dodongo 2 bombs because he didn't have a sword. In the last race, he routed level 2 after the sword, so he was able to smoke and stab the Dodongo. Although you saw jkoper do that. Same thing in that last race. So it looks like jkoper's going to go around and head to the coast now, as Kingdahl heads into level 5. That screen scroll he did into level 5, one of the bigger time saves you get from that screen scroll glitch, if you're not familiar. If you get on the right pixel and hit up or down for exactly 1 frame, you can trick the game into tossing Link over the barrier that triggers the screen transition and walk through like that. On most screens that saves a couple seconds, but that enters level 5, it's quite a bit more than that because of the way the Lost Hills south of level 5 work. It saves about 4 screens of walking. Yes, enamel. This is John Tabin on commentary. Oh, I'm not on the layout. How rude. Didn't even notice. Oh, Kingdahl routing the bomb upgrade. Interesting. Um, Hey, they added my name to the layout. So Kingdahl got the bomb upgrade, which makes this room a bit easier. Getting the recorder much more efficiently than he did in the last race, where he was underpowered or low on health and took a death there, unfortunately. So looks like, if I'm not mistaken, Kingdahl might have a slight lead at this point. Because jkoper was struggling a little bit with the routing at the beginning. Pyrolytic question. This is a vanilla Zelda 1 tournament highlighting three different speedrun categories that we're racing. Kingdahl and jkoper are well known for swordless, so even though their races are in order 100% no up and A, any percent, and swordless, they have chosen to not get a sword before the magical sword for their 100% race, and now it looks like they're doing the same thing for their any percent race. So jkoper now in level 5. As Kingdahl does the world wrap, it's same as the other screen scrolls, except it takes you from the right side of the map all the way to from the west side of the map all the way to the east side. So Kingdahl picking up his 12th heart container. He could go get the magical sword at any time now. We'll see what he does next. Ooh, he's pulling out the recorder, and he's at the dock. Oh, no, he's not. Not doing what I was hoping, but so I won't explain it. So Kingdahl clipping over towards level 6 as Amazing and Forest. The category is any percent. They have chosen to not get the sword for the first part of the run, although Kingdahl looks like he is heading towards the sword now. jkoper gets his recorder and up in A's. And so this time, unlike in the 100% open A race, Kingdahl's first to the magical sword. So if jkoper catches up and wins this race, he moves on in the tournament. If Kingdahl wins, they will do an actual swordless race. So. jkoper in a little bit of health trouble here. This isn't interesting because they've both chosen to get the bomb upgrade, which is not required for any percent. But if you're running the first half of the run swordless, it sure helps. So some interesting routing choices here. Kingdahl now in Magical Breakfast Room 1, not having much trouble with it. And unlike in the 100% race, he will not have to go get the wand. So. So jkoper now has 12 heart containers and is heading over to the graveyard to magical sword. So it looks like he's maybe about maybe a little over 3 minutes behind Kingdahl at this point, assuming standard routing from here on. But a lot can happen in the last couple levels here, so oh, interesting. Kingdahl he started to walk like it was he's routing on the fly, kind of, so figuring out the whistle route as he goes. There is a 100% route that will take the any roads after level 6, and there's a different one that will whistle after level 6. And they depend, and the difference between those two routes is where they do the that Southern Coast Beat chart and that 100 secret. In this case, they used those for the bomb upgrade, even though, and it's actually an 90% run, not a 100% run, but they wanted the bomb upgrade presumably because they're no sword for a part of the run. But at this point, it's just a standard 90% run from here on out. Which will also look roughly the same as well. One difference is Kingdahl does have 8 keys, which is a great deal more than he needs. But when you're making stuff up on the fly, you can't think too much about optimizing that, I guess. Very nice magical breakfast room, too, for jkoper there. He got a pretty cooperative pattern, and he played it very well. Random effects saying in chat, if Kingdahl gets lost in level 9, he'll be okay. Level 9 on any percent speedrun takes 3 keys to get through. And they actually both have a huge surplus of keys. I guess figuring out how to do this, I guess because they sort of routed the keys like they were going to need to open some extra doors so they wouldn't swordless, and didn't end up doing that. So. Oh wait, they haven't done level 7, so they actually do need keys. Have they? That's why they have so many keys. They haven't done level 7. Sorry, hard to keep track. So they do need 3 keys for level 7, so, and 3 keys for level 9, so. And sort of like in a 100% route, they have Magical Sword for 7, so it shouldn't be too challenging. I do not think jkoper did do level 8 yet, although, since I forgot that Kingdahl hadn't done level 7, I don't trust my memory anymore. Yeah, jkoper. Yeah, so even though they're both in 7, Kingdahl has done level 8 and jkoper hasn't, so Kingdahl's a bit ahead. Although not by that much, because yeah, I mean, I'd say, well, level 8 takes 2 or 3 minutes, and it looks like jkoper is about, I don't know, 20 seconds ahead in level 7, so, yeah, Kingdahl's ahead by a couple minutes. Oh yeah, Lila Veer correctly pointing out in chat that they still need to finish level 4 too, probably. I don't think either of them has gone back and done that. But that should be a wash, because they both have to do that. A random effect in chat saying Magical Sword and 4 as a first. Well, it's at least a second on this stream today, because the first they ran 100% no up in a swordless for the first half as well, so they had to come back to 4 with the Magical Sword too. And I and it is quite fun to watch. Those Vyres in level 4 died on the Magical Sword. All of a sudden, you actually can farm bombs in level 4. Yeah, this Gleeok. Yeah, we saw it in the last race. The two-headed Gleeok versus the Magical Sword. Not much contest here. both these players used to fighting that Gleeok with Wood Sword, which takes 16 hits. With Magical Sword, it's 4. Five. Yeah. 3 on the first head, 2 on the... Alright, so now jkoper into level 8. Unlike a usual any percent run, he does have extra bombs because he got the bomb upgrade to do half the run swordless, so making good use of that. Oh, Kingdahl showing us the root quarter. Thank you, sir. What he's doing there is by triggering the raft and the whistle at the same time, the whistle puts you left of the level you whistle to and blows you in, but the raft moves you up a screen, so that put him. So he whistled to level 1 while clipped onto the water, passed across the dock, and that put him northwest of level 1. And so jkoper's caught up a bit. He's finishing off... Kingdahl's still comfortably in the lead, but if something goes sideways for him, the race is not over. Haiku type. No, it's not a recent route change. Kingdahl and jkoper are both known for running swordless, so they made a side agreement for both 100% no open A and any percent to not get the sword until it was time to get the magical sword. And in swordless routing, you have to double dip level 4 because you can't beat Gleeok without a sword or a wand. So in these races, they came back and beat Gleeok with the magical sword. Both runners now in level 9. Kingdahl getting the pattern we see in 100% from these Wizros because he reloaded that second Patter for safety, which is annoying, but better than taking damage from the Patter, I suppose. Kingdahl first to the silver arrows. jkoper having a nice clean next to him, so not too far behind him. jkoper nicely bombing his way through that reverse C, getting his silver arrows. As Kingdahl heads into the trap room. Nice clock there. jkoper tanking 2 hits from that that Patra 2B skip. He got a little unlucky, but not terrible. He's still in decent health shape. Kingdahl at Patra 3. And jkoper just a couple rooms behind him as Kingdahl enters Ganon. One hit. Ooh, don't die. A Ganon hug does 4 hearts of damage. Yeah, I got him. jkoper right behind him, hitting Patra 3. Get your GGs out in chat for Kingdahl, finishing in first place with an official SRL time of 37:31. Nice stun lock on Ganon for jkoper. And get your GGs out in chat for jkoper, finishing with an official SRL time of 38:08:05. jkoper adding a comment in the SRL that he cost him easily a couple minutes with bad routing decisions. Well, all that means is we get a third race, and the third race is actually swordless. So the swordless, these experts at swordless runs who have chosen to forego the sword for the first half of their 100% no up and A and any percent runs will be racing actually swordless all the way from the beginning of the game to entering Ganon's chamber right here on SpeedGaming, coming up soon. So you'll definitely want to stick around for that.